Hi, this is Samir Zulfikar and you're watching Social Sciences. We're going to discuss about social stratification. According to sociologists, social stratification is a trait of society, not simply a reflection of individual differences. And it is found in all societies but varies according to what is unequal and how unequal it is. Social stratification refers to the hierarchical arrangements of people in a society. It carries over from one generation to the next and is supported by a system of cultural belief that defines certain kinds of inequality as just. People can't challenge these hierarchies as they consider it as a nature phenomena. Social stratification takes two general forms, that is caste system and your class system. The most common delineation of economic groups in societies is that of social classes, ranging from lower or working class to upper class. Alternative systems of economic stratification include caste systems, which have traditionally combined additional factors including religion and tradition as well. We are going to discuss two major terms, that is social stratification and social mobility. Social stratification is a system by which a society ranks categories of people in a hierarchy such as gender, caste, and status. Building on the ideas of Max Weber, who saw three main dimensions of stratification, that is, class, status, and party, contemporary sociologists often define stratification in terms of socio-economic status. This measure includes educational attainment, income and wealth, and occupational prestige. The overall summation of these standings dictates one's economic status in any given society. The other term, social mobility, is a change in position within the social hierarchy. This is one of the most interesting phenomena in which some of the people try to change their social status by gaining more education or wealth or by moving from one place to another. We can see such examples in our daily lives too. Just take the example of a student who clears CSS exam. He suddenly enjoy a different position in the society. Once you become a CSP, your status upgraded. Now people around you try to their best to associate themselves with you because now you are a Shahi Afsar. So this is one of the best examples through which you can observe how people move from one status to another, and this whole process is known as social mobility. We have two classic approaches to social stratification which provide interesting insights into this phenomena, that is structural functionalism and social conflict theories. The theoretical paradigm of structural functionalism always emphasizes on structures and their functions. The structural functional approach to social stratification asks the same question of social stratification that it does about other components of society. What function or purpose does stratification serve? Underlying this question is the assumption that stratification serves some purpose because it exists in virtually every society. The resulting answer is often that it must exist in society in order to facilitate stability and equilibrium. Some level of hierarchical organization must be necessary in order for complex societies to function. Additionally, the structural functional approach argues that the positions higher in the social hierarchy must be of more functional importance to the society, which is why they result in greater rewards. Structural functionalists argue that social inequality plays a vital role in the smooth operation of a society. The Davis-Murray thesis states that social stratification has beneficial consequences for the operation of any society. They argue that the most difficult jobs in any society are the most necessary and require the highest rewards, and compensation to sufficiently motivates individuals to fill them. Certain jobs, like cleaning toilets, can be performed by almost anyone, while other jobs, such as performing brain surgery, are difficult and require the most talented people to perform them. In order to lure the most talented people away from less important work, a society must offer those people rewards and incentives. They further claim that any society can be equal, but only to the extent that people are willing to let anyone perform any job. There are several obvious problems with this approach to social stratification. First, the answer to the function of stratification of society results in an answer that is guilty of begging the question. The answer only exists because the question is asked. The way that it is assumed from the asking of the question that there must be a function, thus a function is found. The second major problem with this approach is that it assumes social stratification is necessary for the functioning of any society. While it may be the case that only hunter and gatherer societies have existed with minimal stratification and no complex societies has developed a purely egalitarian system, it should not be assumed that such a system is impossible. The third significant problem with this approach is that it supports the status quo of existing systems, regardless of how the power of the ruling group is dragged. Next, we have social conflict theory. The social conflict approach to stratification sees social hierarchies like most other elements of society as embodying inequality. The conflict theory approach argues that individuals at the top of the social hierarchy are there at the expense of people in the lower positions. Additionally, people higher up in the hierarchy will use their power to strengthen both the hierarchy and their standing in it. A particularly clear example of the social conflict perspective is Marx's early analysis of capitalism. Marx argued that the position in the social hierarchy were directly related to the individual relationship to the means of the production. Individuals in the upper class are the owners of the means of the production, and that's why they are having more power. Those who use the means of production to produce goods and own only their labor power, the proletariats, are members of the lower or working classes. Because capitalists rise to the top of the social hierarchy on the backs of the proletariat through exploiting their labor power, Marx believed that the proletariat would eventually rise up in protest to their exploitation. Marx hoped that the workers of the world would develop a collective consensus or universal sense of injustice that would lead them to overthrow the ruling class. And eventually, these proletariats will form a new socioeconomic system known as communism. Here again, a question emerges that why such revolution did not happen in every capitalist society. Can you solve this puzzle? Do comment on the section below and answer why revolution did not happen in great capitalist economies such as America. We have discussed that how different theoretical paradigms tries to understand the concept of stratification. Now we will further discuss that how different social systems contribute in stratification of society such as caste and class systems. Caste system is based on birth and permit little or no social mobility. A caste system is very common in traditional agrarian societies and it shapes person's entire life, including occupation and marriage too. Take the examples of Rajputs who are unwilling to marry outside their caste. In traditional villages, caste determines the work people perform and whom they marry. Powerful cultural beliefs are the ones who try to make these caste rules as a moral duty. Whereas class systems are based on both birth and meritocracy as well. It permits some social mobility based on individual achievements and common in modern industrial and post-industrial societies. Status consistency in class system is low due to increased social mobility. In the Middle Ages, Japan and both in England, the caste-like aristocracy was there. The vast majority of people were commoners. In both England and Japan, the caste system or the class system was very rigid in that time period. But today's British class system mixes caste and meritocracy, producing a highly stratified society with some social mobility. Whereas in Japan, class system still places great importance on family background and traditional gender roles. Now we are going to discuss about different types of social mobility. We have already discussed about social mobility, which is the process in which a person tries to change its status from one to another. In social stratification, the movement occurs in three directions: from lower to higher, from higher to lower, and between two positions at the same level. And if we classify social mobility, we can say that there are two major types, that is vertical mobility and horizontal mobility. Vertical mobility refers to the movement of people from one stratum to another or from one status to another. It brings changes in class, occupation, and power. It involves movement from lower to higher or higher to lower. There are basically two types of vertical mobility. One is upward and the other one is downward. When an individual moves from lower status to higher status, it is called as upward mobility. For example, if the son of a peon joins a bank as an officer, it is said to be upward social mobility. But if he loses the job due to any other reason or inefficiency, he is downwardly mobile from his previous job. So downward mobility takes place when a person moves down from one position to another position and change his status. Now we are going to talk about horizontal mobility. It refers to the movement of people from one social group to another, situated on the same level. It means that the ranks of these two groups are not different. It indicates changes in position without the change in status. For example, if a teacher leaves one school and joins another school, or a bank officer leaves one branch to work in another branch, this is all are examples of horizontal mobility. So this is all about social stratification and social mobility. If you have any question, do comment in the section below. Thank you so much.
If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel.